Howdy everyone, this is Nutz, and you're watching a map tour of Nowa Wies. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, how are you guys doing today? Today we get to go on a map tour of Nowa Wies. So if you caught that before, we just stopped at a gas station, pulled into one of the houses that we own if we're starting on new farmer mode, just so that you guys are aware. But first, I want to let you know that Nowa Wies is 706.6 megabytes to download. This map is by Fudzo. I apologize right now if I mispronounced it. From what I can tell, this map is for both PC and console, but it shows up in my mod hub for my PC, but I don't see it as of yet on my PS4. It generally, my PS4 follows a little bit behind the PC, so I believe it is for both systems. Now, when you go ahead and download this map, there are a couple things that you have to download as well. The things are as followed: storage barn, German barn, sheepfold, modern Polish stable, 2 different types of cow barns, 1 Polish barn, a grain silo, old Polish brick barn, buildings with cowshed. Now let's go ahead and read what it has to say in Mod Hub. Welcome to Nowa Wies. It is a fictional map with varied terrain consisting of 4 towns and reflecting the climate of Poland. The map is seasons ready and precision farm ready. On the map, you can find new ground and vegetation textures, new crops, carrots and onions, multi-terrain angle, 360 degrees of soil, 6 farms, 138 fields, a BGA, 7 selling points, a sawmill, forests, traffic and pedestrians, a gas station, workshop, and a lot more. Each farm requires placeable facilities. Please use the required mods. Have a nice day. And as I said, I went over those mods that are required right off the bat just to let you know there are multiple things happening here. So, like I said before, we started this map off on new farmer mode, and you get a bunch with new farmer mode. But to start off with, we will take a look at our tractors and what have you not. All right, come back up at the beginning. Oh my gosh, did you just see that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, count them. Fiat 1300 DTs. You have a fleet of orange and white beasts. That's for darn sure. You have a super bison for harvesting, and then get them. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pickup trucks. Holy cats. Oh man, you also have 2 wagons here. You have a grain header for your bison, but that is it. Everything else are all those placeables that I was telling you to begin with that you had to download. So even though you have a fleet of trucks and a fleet of tractors, you don't have much of anything else. You can harvest crops, you can take the crops from point A to point B, but you can't do anything else. You have to go ahead and buy your cultivator, seeders, the whole 9 yards. So that's what you go ahead and start off with right there. We are going to go ahead and look at what you actually start off on the map. So you actually start off with several different things here. I wrote these down, so I'll rattle them off for you real quick. You start off with fields, and those fields are field 90. Let's see if I can do this at the same time. 90, 103, Oh boy. 110, 3, 29, and 70. You also start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 farms. Like I said in the map description, it says there are 6 farms, and you start with every last one of them on new farmer mode. That's it. But now, after taking a look at that, let's take a look at field prices. Now, field prices do vary quite a bit. This is your absolute smallest field, cheapest price at $4,095. And then you come up down here to field 120, which is your most expensive at $2,950,400. Now that is the most expensive field. But you also can go ahead and buy this guy right here for a cool $4.1 million. And this is forestry right here, and it is pretty thick with pine trees. I did go ahead and try clicking on some of the non areas, and it does not look like you can purchase any of that at all. I guess there's a field there, and we do have a BGA on this map, and the BGA is $77,102. So what we're going to go ahead and do right off the bat is we're going to purchase that field. Yes, we are. We are going to purchase that one, and we're going to take a look at prices, or I should say what's available on this map. So you have several different sell points, which I can't pronounce pretty much all of them. I do apologize. I do not speak the language, and I'm not sure. I think scoop might mean shop or sell point. I'm not entirely sure, though. Please forgive me if I'm way off. I'm just ignorant, I guess. So you do have a lot of your standard crops coming in here. It does look like the BGA you can actually throw potatoes in it and sugar beets. So if you like doing that, that is an option. And okay, so you actually, wow, you can put a lot into the BGA. You can do silage, which actually that's a really high price for silage. You can do your grass, hay, straw, manure, and slurry. So you do have all of that for the BGA. With just the silage alone, that's a pretty darn good price. And if you've ever done this before, because the potatoes and sugar beets give you such a high yield, that might not be a bad idea, especially if you're looking to go a little bit green on the farming and use a lot of digestate for fertilizing your fields. Now, in the description, it also said that we have carrots and onions. So we have these guys over here, and if memory serves, for the most part, generally, these are actually fairly high yielding crops. They're not overly high yielding like sugar beets and potatoes, but they are still pretty high yielding, so you probably can make a pretty hefty profit off of all of that. Yeah, and you only have one place to sell cotton, one place to sell wool, so you're pretty much tied in on those prices and how they go. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and take a quick little peek at here. So I took a little wander around seeing what's happening on here. And one thing that's kind of unique to this, I haven't seen this happen very often, or actually I don't even remember the last time I seen this. All of the fields that you start with, 29, 3, 70, 103, 110, 90, all start with absolutely grass. I was going to say nothing. I forgot to check that. They all start with grass, so every field you have is grass. With that being said, each one of these farms has different animals that you can go ahead and get. We'll go ahead and take a look at them. Actually, so what we'll probably go ahead and do is we'll pop over, click on each one of these farms, look at them, see what's available at them before we hop in our vehicle, do a little bit of driving around, checking out some of the sell points, and then at the end we'll go up in the air like Mary Poppins and look at the surrounding areas. So I think what we'll end up doing is we will start off I want to end off at this one because this is where we have a vehicle. Well, all of them have vehicles, but let's start right here at the sheep location. Now, if we come over here, it's all the farms are really small. I'm just going to say it right now. All these farms are really small. They all have, not all of them, but they all generally have a Fiat in here, ready to rock and roll. This is, like I said, the sheep area. Now, I was not able to find the trigger in this sheep pen where you can actually buy the sheep from this location. Yeah, like I said, I could not find it. I ran around on here smashing my on the PC, it's R, smashing my R button to try and trigger this. Could not find it. Could not find it at all. I actually had to go to the animal buy sell point to figure out that in this pen you can actually fit, give me a second, you can actually fit, oh shoot, here's my notes, 80 sheep. There we go. This one actually fits 80 sheep into it. And each one of these locations, no, not every one of the locations has a silo either. So this one does. So you have your silo right over here. Not too bad. This is not a bad option. Like I said, all of the farms are super small, so we're going to kind of plow through them pretty quick. They're pretty much all the same, if I'm going to be honest with you. Just they look and are set up slightly different. There's Grandpa right there sitting, just having a good time. A Fiat. Go figure. Oh, man. So here is, there's your silo. It has a little bit of storage, and this is your horse paddock. I'm not sure. I don't remember off the top of my head what it's actually called. I think it's Old Horse Stable, and this you can only fit 4 in here. So like I said, another small farm, not much land, but it gives you an option for animals. We'll hit this guy up next. This is one of the cow pastures, and I believe this location here, yeah, this is the north one. You can fit 10 cows in here. There it is. There's the trigger. Oh, no, this is the one with 15 cows. Yep, sorry about that. This is 15 cows in this guy right here. And as you can see, it has a pickup truck with minimal storage, nice and small. But we'll jump over field 16, run right over to here, and we have another farm. Another farm. Oh, there's a Fiat. Who would have ever thunk of that? You have a little bit of storage in here. This is kind of interesting. I haven't quite figured 100% what this is. I think this might be a grain, or not a grain, but like a hay barn. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. Let's just check this over here, see if we actually have storage for that. No, it is not, so I don't know. This might be where your output is for your silo. Let's see back here. No, that's actually probably your silo then. I tried working on some of these to figure out how they all work. I wasn't 100% successful. I do apologize for that. I did try. Apparently not too hard, though, I guess. This one here is our pig shelter. And this guy here, if I remember... okay, 6, yep. Yep, that marks what I have written down here. So you can fit 6 pigs in here, not very big. And if you're wondering why this is here, it's because I do have the extension on that does show me, or do the water, and you can sell milk from the location too. So obviously for cows, not for the pigs. We'll hop over here to this farm real quick. Oh, look, another white truck. And this is the one that has the harvester set up at it. This guy over here, as you can tell with the milk, this is another cow location, and yep, right there, 20 cows out of all the cow pastures. This is the largest one right here, and as you can tell, we do have another silo right here. Not a ton of silage or storage, but this one does have a silage bunker, and I believe this is the only one that has a silage bunker, except for this one right here that also has a silage bunker. And this one here has, I think this one has cows as well. Come on, jump over the fence. There we go, jump over the fence. Yes, this one does have cows as well, and the trigger is right here by the cows. And this one has 10. So ultimately, cows you can do on here. You can buy your own land and put your own cow sheds in and all that jazz. But if you're looking to use the stuff that's on the map, there's not a lot of options. Well, I should say there are a lot of options, but you're not going to be able to buy a lot of cows at all. So with that being said, let's start our whirlwind tour. Let's just take a quick little peek at this. I think we'll kind of navigate our way up here, and what I'll probably end up doing, I know some of you guys may not like this, but I'm going to drive through some of these fields up here just to kind of take a look at the terrain of what you have going on here. Because some of these fields you can go ahead and combine. It's a little hard to see like this, but once we drive through the fields, you'll kind of understand what's going on with all of that. So let's back on out of here real quick, and we'll start our whirlwind tour. Alright, so as we come into town, we do have a sell point off to the side here. Now, this map here, the sell points actually are not too bad for maneuvering your way around into them to try and get to sell points. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I think this is a lime filling station. Oh, man. Right off the bat, leading you guys astray. Oh, boy. All right, well, enough of that. Let's just get ourselves going on this tour of town. Now, the reason why I want to drive through the town, it's really not critical to doing the farming. The town isn't... I mean, it's nice. It's a nice feature of the map, but it's kind of more of a hindrance than anything else because you do have these narrower roads, so being able to buy something on here, it is going to lead you slightly astray. Let's get into here real quick. Now, I did go ahead and reset a vehicle, and it does show up here. It actually shows up by that greenish-blue semi-trailer right there. So this is where you're going to go ahead and get your stuff, where you're going to go ahead and spawn your vehicles for when you purchase them. This is where they're going to show up. And with that being said, there are some large fields here on this map. You have the potential for some large fields on this map. So when you go ahead and you're buying a harvester, you have to kind of look at, you got to get it out of town one way or another. You may end up, whether you like the draper headers or don't, or those folding corn headers, you may have to look at some of those options just because we really are limited on space on this map. So let's come on here. We'll just take a quick little swing around here just to demonstrate that the locations, even though they're the sell point locations, even though they're full of just junk, they really do. Oh, look at that. Nifty. Nifty. I like that. They do give you the option of being able to turn around without it being a big disaster. Now, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because one of the previous Polish maps that came out, the micro one, I won't say which, you know which it is, you had no opportunity to do that. So this is kind of nice to be able to get in and maneuver around and do that sort of stuff. I'm going to blow this up here for just 1 second. Okay. So as you can see here, I like to keep the map on down in the bottom hand corner. I know some people don't like it, but I like having it on just because it kind of helps you follow along with what I'm doing, where I'm at on the map. And yes, I am driving through a cornfield, but Actually, look at that texture. That is a nice custom texture on there for the corn. That's super cool. I like that. I like that. So they weren't lying when they're talking about the vegetation textures, because that's I like that. That is nice. It's kind of a nice little refreshing thing. And like I was saying before, even though some of these fields are small, you definitely look like you have the potential to make relatively large fields. And that's, like I said, that's why I'm driving through here, because you take a look at this in the map here. You got field 30, which I was just in, 33, 32, 31, 17. You buy all of those, you can plow that under, you can make one large field. And that is where what I was talking about, when you're going ahead and buying different bits and pieces on this map, you really want to remember you have to get the stuff out of town somehow, and the town is not big. The route that I took out of town is pretty much the best route you can get. So here is an example. All the forestry areas in this map are very similar to this. You have quite a bit of trees. It looks like they're all pine trees that are out here, so I'm not sure on pricing if pine trees versus other trees are different, but that's pretty much everything you're going to find on this map. And even though there are a lot of trees on here, the trees are relatively spread out, so it does give you the ability to drive through here. It's not like it's so dense that you can't even get a vehicle through. Alright, so let's keep on heading down. We'll actually jump on the road here and drive for a little bit. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's turn around here. I'm actually going to cut through this field again, just to kind of show you that the vastness of these fields is actually pretty neat. Now, this is an example of one of these routes that kind of go through the fields. I don't know what you want to call it, but as you can see, they must have problems with washing out, so they threw down some concrete slabs or whatever the heck you got there. And again, I mean, you have hills. Actually, I never said that. That was in my head. You have hills here. They're not steep and gaudy hills, but they are very rolling. So you're going to want to probably look at getting some vehicles that have a little bit more power to them, just to be able to make it up and down some of these. But it's not necessary, because there are lots of fields here that do give you the ability to work the land and not have many issues getting up hills, because it is kind of flat. Alright, so let's head up here to this sell point just to give you a little look-see of what's going on up here. I like that, how it's a little play on the agro stuff and agro lock. So again, it's another one of these areas that, even though it looks like it has a lot of stuff in it, you do have the capability of wandering around, being able to get around the buildings. It makes it much easier from a gameplay standpoint, versus trying to force your way into an area and force your way out just because there's so much stuff in the way. This is nice. It's cluttered, but it's very functionable. It's kind of believable, if you ask me. It makes it seem more believable. A little floating sign there. I wouldn't worry about that little guy. So let's go ahead and continue on our little whirlwind tour. Took that one a little wide. I apologize. Ran over someone else's field. Not like I didn't run over anything else. And I kind of like these signs here. It's nice. Nice. You got these little billboards and all sorts of stuff. One thing I want to do here really quick is there is a specific area where you can have a water refill, and it pretty much is you just back down into this little pond area, and then there you go. You do have your refill. But if you're going to be coming over this way, you do have a couple areas that are like this, to cross this river where you don't really have a super wide bridge. So again, this map I think is going to give us some challenges because you don't have very wide roads all the time, yet you still have some relatively large fields. I think it goes ahead and creates a nice little challenge for us. Oh shoot, you're gonna really want to look at getting, again, stuff that you can either get out of town, make narrow. Folding implements are going to be very handy on this map, especially like coming down this road right here. Just super, super narrow. And that is one of our farm areas, so we're just going to go ahead and continue on down and around. Yeah, and like I said, you have the ability here to go ahead and let's just cut across here like this. You do have the ability here on virtually all of these fields to be able to go ahead, plow stuff under, and make large, large fields. I mean, you can kind of look at the landscape up and around off in the distance, stuff that you really can't use or do anything with. There are farm fields all over the place. This is how it looks. So you could go ahead and keep stuff narrow the way it is, but you could also expand on everything. Now, looking at those cars down here, let's go over here and take a look at this because this is something I noticed on this map, and I want to point it out. Now, you do see traffic here. It is one of the things that is specifically mentioned in the description. One thing that I've noticed is that if you have two-lane traffic or two-lane roads, you have traffic virtually all the time. If you have single-lane roads, you do not have traffic. So that is kind of a godsend that even in the narrow towns, you still have like a little forgiveness. There's not going to be cars trying to come in and get you out. Now this place right here, I can't pronounce that, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the egg and milk locations. So this is something, and the other one looks very, very similar. The name is just slightly different as to where you can go ahead and sell your dairy products. So let's go ahead and head on down. We're actually gonna come up to this fork and take a left because I want to take you to the animal dealer. It is a very unique animal dealer. I love it, and I think you're going to find out why here in just a second. It's pretty darn neat. So there is one of the other sell points right here. It is a grain sell point. You can tell by the grain on there. Oh, man. Well, we are going to drive through a play yard. Watch out. Sorry. Excuse me. Coming through. Oh my gosh. Do you look at that right there? That's neat. That is neat. The town does have some pretty neat features. I do like it. But again, you know, when you're playing Farm Sim, the towns really just, they don't mean a whole lot. They're more or less just for decoration. Yeah, now, ooh, there's the police. Watch out. It's kind of neat. I haven't seen many maps that actually have police stations on there. So that is pretty darn cool. Now, guys, I'm going to go like this. Here's the animal dealership. It's a meat market. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love this. I came around the corner and seen this, and I thought this is the coolest thing ever. Oh, man. Oh, so to go ahead, and your trigger point is in the back here for buying and selling. This is where you go ahead and get this, but oh, man, this is cool. The meat market. Classic. I love that. That is just super, super cool. I really do like that. Oh, man. So we're pretty much going to be driving at this point straight-ish north. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted. Let's take a look at the map here. We are down over... I don't know. We're down over here. So we're going to kind of take a quick little loop up around here. and then shoot up here. This area, this town is essentially like all the other towns. There's nothing really special about it other than there's a couple sell points, so we'll swing through it just so you can see what the roads look like, and then we'll boogie on up to go see the BGA. Right, BGA is right here, so we'll hit the BGA first, and then we'll kind of go through this town before we go airborne and then just see what this looks like from above. So let's head on out of town. So see, like I said, this town here, this town has 2-lane traffic, so you have cars. And as you can tell, there is the wool and cotton sell point. I think the sheep may have given it away. Okay, so yeah, let's head on out of town here. Let's take a look at this, see what's going on. I'll drive on the road here for just a little bit. Nope, going. Nope, I'm going. I'm going to win. So yeah, I mean, there are, like, again, here we come up on more forestry areas. And like I said before, all the forestry areas are pretty much the same. This one is slightly different because it is on a hill. So I think we're all pretty safe with, if you're looking at buying some more of the equipment based, or I should say made for forestry, because they're a little bit more powerful. I don't think you'd have any issues making it up those hills. And then again, on this side over here, as you can see, there are a little bit of hills in the general area. So you do kind of have to pay attention to what you're doing. Now, I did take a look at this, and I did try and fill this thing up. I was unsuccessful doing it. I used the F11 mod to try and spawn in some silage. I tried using belts to get it up in there, but every time I used it, it wouldn't register the silage. My belts actually went flying into the air, and at one point they were on top of the dome, so I can't tell you how much is in there. But if this is like the last one that I dealt with, it's this same particular style, it's 50,000. I could be wrong. It could be 100,000, but I think it's only 50,000. As for where you get your digestate out of, I think it's over here in this general area, but I don't know. I tried activating this trigger. I tried monkeying around, and I could not figure it out. Like I said, I think this is where the trigger is to actually get the digestate right here. So, as you can see here, like all other BGAs, this does have two big silos. Well, not big silos, but they have two silos here. So that's where your BGA is. Like I said, the silage price is pretty darn good if you're looking to do sugar beets or potatoes in here. That's really going to rock and roll with you. Now, one thing I do not know is if this does have that same weird glitch in it where you can throw certain things down into the biogas silage bunkers, and it glitches out and gives you extra stuff. I did not try that, so I don't know if that works or not. Let's go ahead and... No, we're going to go take this road into town. Beforehand, we'll come out here and just look again at some of these crops. Yeah, I really like that. And as you can see, the soil for cultivating, it does look different. It does look nice. We do have a couple planes, little chemtrails. Oh, yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. But, yeah, the textures are really nice. It is kind of neat to see different textures. It's nice that it's not the same thing over and over again. So, all in all, it's pretty darn neat. Like I said, we'll come up here, we'll come through this town, and we will go ahead and see what's going on. Now, this wooded area off to the right there, it is like a natural barrier. You cannot drive through it. Please don't ask me how I know this, but I do know this, that you will have issues. Okay, so this is a town. It does have the 2-lane traffic. It does appear that we do have enough room to really get in there. Let's see what's going on over here real quick. Okay, the sell point, I think, is back around the corner. This is one of the few sell point areas where It's not the best to get around in, but it still is way better than just being a dead end or something like that. So all in all, that's pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and drive a little bit farther. One thing I want to say is I don't know if you guys have noticed there's like this bird that's part of the map. It's one of the trigger sounds. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Let me go like this here. Actually, we'll drive a little farther so I can hear it again. And once I hear it again, I'll go ahead and turn sound up a little bit in game so you guys can hear it. Let's see here. All in all, you know, this is it's nice rolling landscape. It's pretty neat. Let's see here. Let's drive out in this. Oh, I didn't even see a train location. There's a train right there. Well, I'm not hearing that bird again. Well, if you guys decide to go ahead and download this map, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about shortly after. Hopefully there's an update. Hopefully that bird goes right the heck away and we never have to listen to that thing again. But at this point, guys, it is time. It is time to go ahead and turn on our Mary Poppins mode. Get your umbrellas out. Get ready to rock and roll because here we go. Hopefully don't go up into an airplane. That would be terrible. Oh, man. So here's what this looks like from above. Actually, got to go ahead and turn on super speed because it does help when you're going around and doing this. Otherwise, it's like normal walk. Oh, my gosh. Yikes. I got to watch out. Boy, I got to really watch what I'm doing here. Oh, let's get out of the way. We're right in the air path. Oh, man. But this is what I was talking to you guys about. You see all these fields up here, and you definitely can see that they all can be combined, or at least combined for the most part. It really is kind of a neat landscape where you do have this patchwork of fields that you have the option of going ahead and making into something much larger. You could keep the crops the same, keep the fields the same, and be able to do virtually whatever you want to do. You have your small farm locations. The farms are not actually that bad priced. We're going to go ahead and look at that really quick because I forgot. 44,000. Oh, no. 20,000, 16,000, 19,000. 14,000, 18,000. So you could easily go ahead and get one of those on any of the other new modes if you want to start from Farm Manager or start from scratch. No problem. You could buy multiples of those those farms if you really wanted to. But ultimately, guys, if you think about it, if you're doing things right and you're awfully busy, your equipment's not going to be back at the farm that often. So ultimately, you just have to bring it back for repairs and washing and what have you not. We're going to go down just a hair here so we can kind of really see what's going on here. Okay, hold on a second. I hear that bird. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to turn up the environment volume for just 1 second. This is going to get really loud, and I do apologize, but there's that bird. Hopefully you guys can hear it. You can hear the wind blowing. That's a nice little feature. But that bird you really just want to kill, and that's it. Because it is just annoying. Drives you nuts. I got to turn that back down. But what I wanted to show you was that you can see this. It does have its hills. Elevation does actually vary quite a bit. But it is so gradual and so smooth that I don't think it's really going to be that big of a deal for you moving forward. Like you can see here, there are some forestry areas. There is tons and tons of potential for farming. Lots and lots of different options on what you want to do. All in all, I'd say this is just a downright beautiful map that was done very well. Textures are great. Fields are great. Just an absolutely spectacular view. But you don't have to believe me. If you want to, go ahead, download this map, see what it's like for yourselves, and just enjoy it. Biggest advice that I can give to you guys on this map is be mindful that the roads getting out of town, the shop where you can go ahead and buy stuff, is very, very narrow. So you really have to watch out for that. There are a lot of narrow roads on here. Be careful. Oh, but ultimately, guys, if you liked this map review, go check out some of the other ones that I got. Smash the like button on this one. Smash the like button on the other ones too. Subscribe, and make sure you turn on the notification bell. Set everything to all. That way you know when I'm doing this or other things. But most importantly, guys, I really want to tell you, thanks for stopping by.